What's good, YouTube? It's Ray Jarrell. So today's video, I want to show you guys my favorite cover 2 shell in Madden 24. So if you enjoyed the video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go in and sub and turn those post notifications on. So I wanted to show you guys this video because I'm going to put out a dying normal ebook, so just be patient. But I want to kind of explain to you why I love this defense so much, and I kind of want to give you a coverage shell that you can run and dominate with. So in my last dying normal video, I actually briefly talked about this coverage, but I want to go more extensively into why I love this coverage and what coaching adjustments I love with it, kind of just go over that. And also I do have some gameplay showing off more dying normal defense, showing you how this defense actually compares in game. So it's really fun, really great defense, and I am in a multiple defensive playbook. So with all that out the way, one more thing I want to say is I do have ebooks available on my website, allthingsmadden.com. The link is in the description. I have one defensive ebook and I have 2 offensive ebooks, and I'm working on putting out more. But you know, it's just gonna take a time to get it rolling out. So I truly appreciate you guys, and if you want to show your appreciation, I appreciate if you drop a like or comment. I love hearing from all of you, and I respond to all comments. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So as far as the defense, like I said, we're in dying normal. So first thing you want to do is go ahead and go to your coaching adjustments. So I love to leave auto flip on. Everything else is normal. These are just up to you. So the only thing I like to do is I like to put my flats at 20 just to start off, 15 or 20 normally. Sometimes I like to play around with 15 and see, but normally I'll stick with 20, and I'll leave my curl flats alone for now. That might change. Sometimes if I change it, I'll put 5 or 0, but the most important thing I want to talk about is the hooks. So for the hooks, I love to put them at 5 to start off with, and sometimes I may tinker at 0 depending on if they want to run a lot of drag routes. But I love 5 to 10 normally, but I only put 0 if they're going to run a whole lot of drag routes. So I'm just going to put them at 5 for now, just to kind of show you why I like them. But most of the time I do stick them at 10 if we're being honest. But I'm going to show you why I still don't mind 5. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to come out in DBL safety blitz, and we're gonna audible to cover 2. So if you watch my last video on dying normal, you guys know I love to do this little scheme where we're gonna bring our safeties all the way down to the line of scrimmage, and it doesn't matter what formation we do. Let's just do something, I don't know, why not, we'll do bunch. I can't talk. We'll do bunch wide flex. Why not? So let's just do a random. Hit the wrong one. Let's just do a random bunch play. So first and foremost, let's just back the ball up and let's put it on this hash mark, because most people who run their bunch, they are going to run their bunch to the wide side. All right. So by default, your players are going to come down. Now, what you need to do for cover 2 is you need to actually touch them and then touch him, and then you actually want to audible to cover 2. So when you do it this way, your safeties are still going to stay there. Now, if you want Chuck Clark to go somewhere, you can actually baseline. He's going to go outwards, or if you want him right there, you can re-baseline to put him normal. Okay, so I love the baseline and then actually press if I'm playing a bunch style. Now, if you're playing a normal formation, so let's say they audible to let's just take a look at doubles Y flex for half a second. So if they audible to doubles Y flex, notice how, you know, the alignment isn't correct. So in this case, I like to baseline and then press. So that way they're actually aligned perfectly. And notice how when we baseline, our safeties don't move, right? So what I want to do real quick, I don't want to talk about coverage just yet. I think understanding alignment is more important for right now. So let's just say you forgot to touch them, right? So notice I'm not going to touch either of the safeties. Let's say we audible to cover 2, right? So notice how they don't move. They stay in the same spot. And then when we baseline, they stay the same, okay? That's not always true for every single formation. So let's actually, in this case, they will, because they came out in bunch. But just understand, you want to touch them just to make sure, because there are some formations that will cause them to not actually move. So just make sure that you do know that. And I wanted to go back and reset the play, but I figured this way would be faster. So let's try to find, I want to find a formation. Let's try tight base flex, because there's a couple on here that will, but we're not gonna worry about that. I just want to show you this defense. So let's just go back out into DBL safety blitz. I don't want to get caught up on the wrong thing. So you always want to touch them, and then you actually want to go to cover 2, and you want to baseline press, or you can do just a regular press if you want to, and it all just depends on where Chuck Clark lines up. So it's fine for him being right there. Me personally, if I'm playing against bunch, I would rather it be this way. and then I pinch my line, and then just notice how our safety is gonna be here. So what I like to do, I like to leave him in the mid read, and then I like to use her to safety. So either I'll use her the safety to the weak side, or I'll use her the safety to the strong side. But if you want my preference, I love to go weak side. So if I use her to weak side safety, I got my guy on the blitz angle, so don't worry about the mess up there. So there's two things I like to do. If I have a defender outside, if I have, you know, at least one more defender, I like to always take him and man him up to the single receiver threat. So right now he's manned up to Kittle, and then we'll go ahead and blitz ourselves, and we'll kind of just snap the ball, kind of let you just see. So when we do it this way, we're actually going to be free, if that makes sense. So we have the freedom to go lurk whatever we want to. And normally you're going to want to kind of play the deeper route. So the reason we put these at 5 and put these at 10, 5 or 10 for our zones, is because we want to be able to take away these type of throws, anything across the middle. So we want our user to be completely free to cover the intermediate. So we're kind of asking a lot of ourselves. That's why I like to actually mess around with our zone drops. Now, of course, this play is just a really great play to beat this style of concept, because we would just need to adjust the zone to be further back. So maybe we have to put him at about 30, and I would put him right there, right? So in that case, we can actually just lurk this route right here. So there's a lot of things. This defense is an adjustment style defense. So wanted to make sure I kind of did mention that you have to be able to adjust. So other things you can do also, if you don't want to use it at safety, you also can use this guy too. This is another thing I like to do right here, where I'll just use him. And this is great for your formations that are you know, if you don't have a side to declare to. So what I mean by that is, let's just go to doubles wide flex, and let's just go to 4 vertical. So notice how in this formation everything is symmetrical, so there really isn't a strong side. So in these type of scenarios, this is where I actually like to use her on this guy. Now also notice what happened. Notice how our safety is now up top. Remember how he was supposed to be right here in this spot? This is what I was telling you, that there are certain formations that are going to cause them to actually misalign. So what you want to do is you want to touch him, and when you touch them, it's going to force him to stay right here no matter what the opponent does. And now we're going to get the nice little blitz look, as if we're going to blitz. Okay, so in these type of scenarios, I like to actually personally just take X and actually put him in a purple. And this is when I like to put my purples at hard flats for this style of formation. In this way, it kind of helps us out a little bit. So the only thing you have to watch out for is a streak by circle. But if you're that worried about it, okay, if you are that worried about it, you can actually just man up X out there, and you could take X right here, and you can actually put him in a hard flat for him to play the 20. So now you just have to worry about the flats, if that makes sense. So in theory, I love this defense just because there's a lot we can do out of it. We'll go and snap the ball right here. But, I mean, obviously, it's just 4 verts, so everything's going to be pretty much covered. So I want to kind of just go more into this so you guys can understand it more. So we'll touch them, go cover 2. And kind of for the remainder of the video, we'll kind of just take a look at different coverages and how I like them, and notice why we touch them, just so he can always stay. That time I actually didn't touch him. So personally, me, I love to actually use either strong side or weak side, like I said. And if you don't trust yourself with the user, I like to play a cover 3 style of shell, where I'll play it like this, and then I'll actually take either R1, or I'll take the linebacker right here and I'll just move him over and I'll put him that way. So with this way, all we have to worry about is the deep in the aspect. So we just have to kind of watch out, and then that's going to be us. We can come here, user, and this works really good for your bunch style offenses as well. So just a lot that you can do out of this, man. It's really great for just stop and drag routes, to be honest. That's where I love it, and it's gonna let you be able to alert those intermediate routes. So this is what it looks like when it's at 5. So let's see if we can find a different formation. Let's just let's do spot wide middle. Why not? So let's go ahead and baseline, get them where we want them. And again, you can use her wherever you want to. Normally, like I said, I just love the user in the middle. It's gonna make it a lot easier, and we're just gonna play just a general style of cover 2 like this. So notice where they sit, and obviously X was my responsibility, but I was looking at how good that they actually play on these certain routes. So even right here, it's really great for even your option style routes. And look at what I was telling you. So when we put our zones at 20, they actually going to do a great job of just syncing. So just your normal basic concepts, they do really great at playing. The only time you'll run into trouble with this 20-5 setup is if they run your bunch style offense, and that one's going to require basically some more setups that I get into in the ebook. But for general sake, it does a really great job. Even right here, notice how the 20 is going to sit here. Now obviously this is just my responsibility, I just wasn't actually doing it. But you guys get the point. So anyways, like I said, you touch them, cover 2, baseline if you want to, you don't have to. And then let's just take a look at another formation. So let's go PA slide under. I have no idea what the play concept is, it doesn't matter. So if I face a trip style of offense, like I said, because we have 3 people on this side, normally you're gonna have a symmetrical defense. So notice how we have 1, 2, 3, right? And then notice how we have 1, 2, 3. So just about every time you're always gonna have this symmetric style defense, which means that you can get creative with your coverages, if that makes sense. So to your opponent right now, you may be playing a cover 3, you may be in a cover 2. It's really hard to tell. You may be in man coverage. So that's why, you know, you can play these risky style defenses. So that's why I like to, I'll do this right here. I'll man him up right here, and I'll actually user him. And now pretty much I have all of this in the middle is mine, and the intermediate. So this is another style of play I love. So what I'll do is a lot of times I'll press, and I actually blitz that slot guy too. Now this way, I'm pretty much guaranteed pressure, so I can actually stand here if I want to, and then I can actually, you know, muddy up the read, and then actually come back, lurk, and I'm just looking. Notice how this time I actually had absolutely nothing to play. I could have went to go play that drag if I wanted to, but I just chose to kind of go lurking around. So again, we're sending an extra guy that blocked the running back, so our blitz didn't get through. But look at how everything's playing. Look at our 20-yard our 20-yard flat. He's gonna play it perfect. Look at our deep half actually working to get out there, so that's taken away. And then this route right here obviously is just going to be taken away. And we also have our flat player that's going to be coming down driving on this, but we could have played that too. So again, just showing you guys just how explosive this little cover 2 defense can really be. So let's just kind of look at something else. One more thing, then we'll look at some gameplay. So let's see. Let's go with flood. Why not? So I don't know the route concepts, it doesn't matter. So formations like this, right? So if you have a 2x2 formation, there's actually a lot you can do. One of my favorite things is taking these 2 players and manning them up right here, and then letting my cloud flat play out there, and then I'll actually just either user this guy right here normally, so that way if I need to play deep, I definitely can, right? So this is one of my favorite things to do. And then if you have time, you also can blitz that slot corner, so now we can actually play a cover 2 style. And this is also really great defense too, because now we can muddy up the read, and then we can actually come to lurk, and then all we're doing is just taking away routes based on numbers. Really is why we're taking away routes. Because if we look, how many people do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 DBs on this side, and we have 1, 2, 3 DBs on this side. So we'll always be able to play unique coverages, and our opponent will never have no idea we're running, because I mean, just look at this. How are you supposed to know if we're blitzing, we're playing coverage? There's just so many things you can do out of this defense. It's crazy. And just look at how the coverage plays. Now, obviously, the only thing he can throw is the running back, but because we press, take a look what happens. If he throws his running back route, we're going to be able to break on this immediately. Now, I know some of you guys are like, well, this is open, but this is a high-risk, high-reward style defense. So they're just going to have to know that we're doing that. And you also can play normal stock cover too. There's nothing wrong with that. That's where his defense excels. I was just being extra and giving you guys a blitz setup. So anyways, I want to show you guys this gameplay really quick, and then that's going to wrap up this video. So let's go ahead and hop into that gameplay. All right, so the gameplay is actually really short and really sweet. So it's really just showing you a lot of under center style offenses and showing you how it's still capable of actually playing good. So I first want to say I would not recommend running dire normal versus under center. You definitely can get weak box, and what weak box means is that when they're running back passes the line of scrimmage, your players are just going to run slower and just react slower. You definitely run the risk of that happening if they break the long run. So be very careful. I would never run down normal. This was just me just kind of testing things out for this game. So just don't do that. But right here, this is just good gameplay, because some of you guys might have been wondering throughout the video, like, real, I'm not gonna have enough time to do all those coverages. I won't have enough time to set it up. I won't have enough time. I know that's what you guys are saying. Is right there. My opponent throws a great dot, but this gameplay was to show you guys that you definitely can have enough time to actually, make adjustments. So that's what I just really wanted you to see this live, and just notice how I'm calling a lot of cover 4 palms, because I just wanted to play cover 4 palms. So don't mind that. It's not so much about showing you cover 2. It's just showing you that you have enough time to set up whatever you want. So right there, I sent a little blitz, and it actually almost got home, but just look at how much time that I have. And if your opponent makes one adjustment, you'll have enough time to set up everything. That's just how Madden works this year. That's why a lot of people either set up a lot of routes at one time, or they quick snap you. Normally, you never really face people who do like you never really face people who do like 2 adjustments and then snap the ball. Normally, they're gonna do no adjustments, or they're gonna do about 6 of them. So, or they're gonna motion somebody, which still gives you time. So I love doing everything out of this because our safeties are in the box. And then kind of look what happens. Notice when I actually don't touch the safety, look what happened. He went over there to the right, but you know, right there we are going to play some great defense. But anyways, that's what I was trying to tell you, that you want to touch those safeties if you can. You really, sometimes you won't have time, but sometimes you will. You have to feel your opponent out. Now, if your opponent's quick snapping you, please do not worry about trying to set up, you know, grab the safety and do him, you know, move him so he doesn't move. Don't worry about all that. If your opponent chooses to quick snap, you just need to actually get your safeties down that will stay down, because there is no offensive formation in the game that I'm aware of where your safeties will both safeties will go back up. I'm not aware of them. I don't think it exists on right now, but I could be wrong. So if you guys face that, let me know. But right here, just kind of showing you how the run defense can actually be there if they call under center offense, but don't expect it to be like this every time. So I'm just personally in a really good formation. They're in a really good formation actually, and you'll see this here in a little bit. But the reason I say cover 4 palms is good because we actually have both our safeties that are involved in the run fits, which I went over in the last video. So right there, I got an unfortunate animation, man. That was actually supposed to be my area. You can tell the dude's still jumping. I think I spammed it too many times and I was lagging a tiny bit, so my person literally just couldn't stop jumping. I thought it was funny while I was recording it. But yeah, man, you also can run a lot of man blitz too. So I personally don't like abusing man coverage. I like to play zone personally. But I don't mind sitting in man coverage. So this defense is just great no matter what. And we're going to give the same look every time, which makes this defense that much better, because now we actually didn't blitz anybody. He doesn't see anybody, and we are able to actually get a coverage sack right there, just simply because our opponent's never going to know what we're in. So that's why I wanted to give you this cover 2 defense, because you can pair it with the cover 4 defense that I put out on the free ebook, and then you're just going to have a really solid defense, man. This defense is a lot of fun to run. I still think 3-3-5 normal is still a great defense. It's probably still going to be my main defense, but I still really love this defense. I believe it's top 2. I believe nickel 3-3 is top 1. So just make sure you're kind of interchanging between both to be able to, you know, really have your opponent on the ropes. So anyways, I think cover 4 palms is the move, not as far as a coverage, but if you zone drop cover 4 palms, it turns into cover 4 drop style defense. And right there, I should have just shot the gap, and that was my fault as a user. And that's one thing that you can do with this defense, because we have so many people at the line of scrimmage, and because they're involved in run fits, we actually have the opportunity to shoot gaps as a user, but you just have to know how to do it. So right there, I actually ran into the guy. Notice how my players are running slow. That's because you can get weak boxed, and because of that, we actually gave up a touchdown. So wanted to make sure I show you that you know, you definitely can you know, not have good run defense if you just don't hit your holes. So you have to make sure you hit the holes, and I think he's actually gonna take an early exit. So that's where I put up for this video. I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.